That was Michael. That was a kick-ass Emperor Palpatine impersonation. I thought it was brilliant. I really did. I really did. And sir, nein means no in German. So if you're watching a sexual act and someone is saying no, you're not watching porn.
I didn't understand that.
Well, now you know. Although Germans, it could still be porn because they're kinky shit. Don't ask me how I know that. Yeah, 9 means no.
What does 10 mean?
10 means keep going. 10 means you're almost there. Good to be back. This is weird in this, like, I'm not used to this tiny little location with a window. Hey, how are you? Who's the guy who's making fun of St. Paul, man? If you're not from St. Paul, you can't make fun of St. Paul. Only people from St. Paul can make fun of St. Paul. I live in St. Paul. I like being from St. Paul more than I like being in St. Paul. But guys, I'm not actually from St. Paul. I'm originally from the East Coast. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Thank you very much. But I've been here for about 23 winters. That's how I'm counting them in winters. So fuck that. We'll be closing this window very soon. Makeup sex means something totally different if you are dating a clown. I'm going to try some new stuff here. I apologize in advance because I'm from Philadelphia. I'm raised Irish Catholic. I don't smoke weed, not because I wouldn't like to, because nobody will sell me weed because I look like a cop. See, I know that. And the more I know I look like I'm self-aware about that. And the more I try to not look like a cop, the more I look like a cop. Because nobody looks more like a cop than someone trying to not look like a cop. So,
thank you.
No, yeah, my pleasure, I guess. So alcohol is my poison of choice. Although I do have a new dealer. Actually, this is a funny story. My new dealer is my father-in-law because he spends half the year in California, so he gets medical marijuana. And what I didn't know is that he has it put in brownies that he leaves on the counter at the kitchen counter at bedtime. And I had one before I went to bed, and I felt so stupid because I slept. I didn't know it was a pot brownie when I ate it. And I woke up the next morning and people were like, "Where's Papa's brownies?" And I was like, "Well, I had one." And they're like, "You had one of Papa's?" You know, he's an 80-something-year-old man. He has a pot brownie. And I didn't know. And I felt bad because I was like, I wish if I had known, I would have at least like tried to enjoy it. And so and they're like, "Well, did you sleep well?" And I said, "Yeah." And they were like, "That's it." I'm like, that's not, that can't be pot's selling point, that you sleep well, because there's a lot of other shit that'll do that better. Yeah, so, I moved to Minnesota about 20 some odd winters ago, and I didn't realize this, I thought they were Irish Indians here. I thought that's what the Ojibwe was. That's a dumb joke, I'm sorry. That's really dumb. Yeah, the Ojibwe. It's new. It needs some. There's something there. This was interesting. I saw some people with rescue dogs, and I said, "Oh, that's a lovely greyhound they have." And she's like, "No, it's not a greyhound. It's a whippet." And I'm like, "Well, what's the difference between a whippet and a greyhound?" And she said, "I didn't do greyhounds in college." And they should, because that's vodka and grapefruit juice. That's a tasty beverage. That's quite nice. I'm gonna curse. Is it okay with the window open if I curse?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Well, but here's the deal. I'm not gonna curse in English. I have a daughter in Norway. She's studying for the year, and she's supposed to be learning Norwegian. And I'm FaceTiming her last week, and I'm like, "What Norwegian do you learn? Do you know any bad? I like to learn curse words." I was like, "What curse words do you know in Norwegian?" And she said, "I don't know any." Apparently, Norwegians are so polite they don't have any. But she said she did learn a curse word in Czechoslovakian. And I'm like, "Great, what is it?" And she's like, "All right, does anyone here speak Czechoslovakian?"
Ja mluvím ale češtinu.
Oh, good. So then you might be the only one who understands it when I say Druz Pichu.
Oh, well,
Yeah, see? No, that's not what that means.
I know what Pichu means.
Druz Pichu, for those of you who don't, and my daughter wouldn't tell me when I was, so she's like, I'm like, great, that's great. What does it mean? And she's like, nope, not going to tell you, you got to look it up. So I looked it up. The loose translation is shut up. It means shut up. It means be quiet. But the literal translation, and I apologize in advance, but it does mean hold your C word. Only it doesn't say C word. It's hold your cunt, people. That's what I'm saying. My daughter, my 18-year-old daughter, told me to hold my cunt. Yes, what's the phrase? Now you want to know the phrase. Druz Pichu, D-R-Z-P-I-C-U, Druz Pichu. And it's apparently it just means shut up. So I'm going to say that next time. How much time do I have, Steve? I'm going to end.
1 minute.
1 minute, great, perfect. I'm going to end because I'm married to a woman from Bemidji, Minnesota. It's a mixed marriage. She's from Bemidji, I'm from civilization. But she told me when we got married, we're getting older, and she told me she wanted a Viking funeral, and I didn't know what that meant. I'm from Philadelphia. She told me, in case you don't know, a Viking funeral means when she dies, we put her on a wooden raft, we ship her out into the middle of Lake Bemidji, and then we light it on fire so Valhalla knows she's coming. I didn't know that. I'm from Philadelphia. I thought a Viking funeral meant that when we lower her into the ground, we miss wide left. Thanks for listening, everybody. My name's Rick. Enjoy your night.